Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bench Bros podcast. This is episode like 11,
I couldn't tell you the exact number. We've
week
skipped so many weeks.
7. Yeah, week 17. Is that right? No,
Yeah.
is it
Or is it weeks? I think it's week 16. Yeah, it's week 16.
16? 16. Yep. Just like what was that girl's name? Mary Manilow in 16 Candles. What was her name?
Uh, couldn't tell me.
Mary J. Blige, probably. And I'm your and I'm your host, Cheesebees, along with the only guy I'd pick to be my science partner.
Yee.
Uh,
How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
It's fucking cold outside. It shouldn't be this cold.
Yeah, how cold is it for you? Everybody's been getting
Uh,
fucked up by this weather.
it was like 30 degrees this morning. It's gotten up to 50, but it dropped down again. The other day it was like 20, 22.
Jesus Christ. And how much is that in across the pond?
That's like -1 Celsius.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, I was absolutely expecting you to be hateful.
I
Saying
mean,
something like,
I
I don't
have
know,
a
maybe if
I
they
have a
didn't need help in the
girlfriend that
world
uses
wars.
metric system, so I kind of have to know these things when I'm asked.
You know what? That's a good point.
You know, if I remember correctly, the story about why we use the metric system, why we don't use, well, I mean, we do and we don't. Um,
The smart people use the metric
why we use
system,
the
and then
imperial
everybody
system.
else uses, yeah.
I believe the story goes, um, the dude, France was sending over a guy, uh, that
Oh yeah,
was
I think
gonna
we've talked
send
about
like
this.
came with like weights and like all that stuff to teach people
Yeah, the
the
metric system.
metric system, and he fucking died in a hurricane on the way over, and so they kind of
Fucking
just
weak.
like had to use something else.
So somebody was like, I don't know, man, it's 5,280. And he's like, how much? How 5,280 what? And he like looked down, was trying to think, and he just kind of like shook his feet. He's like, fuck it, he's done it again.
But most of the main reason why we still don't use it is during the Industrial Revolution. Manufacturing plants used um, a unit of measurement called the imperial system. And since all the gears and everything were manufactured that way, it kind of just stuck.
So we just kind of fell ass backwards into this, and we are
Well,
just like, yeah, it's too long now.
the
We've been
the
doing it too
industri
long.
yeah, but I was taught the metric system in school.
Were you?
Yeah, I was
No,
taught the
I.
metric system. I
We absolutely were not taught
Well,
that.
you're in ass backward Texas, so what did you
That's also
expect?
true. Yeah, no, we
Um,
learned that Texas was the greatest country on earth, and then we found out in like eighth grade that we're part of the United States. We weren't our own country.
and, and your power grid is probably like the one of a third world country.
Pretty much. We just have like three
It's like
lemurs and an alligator
three,
trying to figure it out.
yeah, it's like three hamsters in a wheel. Um,
Shigeru Miyamoto powering the Nintendo Switch.
and the military uses the metric system.
That's true. They say clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1,000 meters is what it's a kilometer. I don't know how it became a click, but I mean it sounds cool, I guess.
Because the first four letters are, oh no, it's not kilometer, so I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just some cool jargon they picked up. I don't know enough
Couldn't have
about
been the worst
military
to say.
things. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not a military guy.
Neither
I
am
like
I.
what they're doing. I don't like that we're in wars because there's no need. Just fucking get over your differences. But I
Uh,
understand why we need a war or why we need a military.
yeah, just look at big old Russia.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, I don't know who I was talking to, but I was kind of equating it to like America's Korean War. You know, they're fighting like someone that's way smaller than them. But I mean, even then, the Koreans didn't really have any help. It was just them
What do you
guerrillaing it
mean?
out. Well, like
You
it's a
do realize
this
that the Americans, the Australians, and the British fought in the
art, yeah,
Korean War, right? It was a coalition.
right.
Okay, so what do you mean they
But
didn't
yeah,
have
that
help?
was the thing. Like it just in the like broad sense, a very broad sense. It was like a very
The
large country.
Koreans had the Chinese army. You do realize that we
Yeah,
fought the Chinese Nationalist Army.
I
That's
did
like a
not know that we were
that's
fighting
like
the
a
Chinese there
million
too.
soldiers strong.
See, so like I don't know. It just kind of equate. I don't know. It just kind of felt weird to me. Maybe that was like I don't know something. It should have been like a steamroll maybe, but then too many people got involved, and
We
now it's
actually
a whole
did
thing.
steamroll the North Korean. At first, the North Koreans steamrolled the South Koreans because, like you said, they had no army to stay with.
Right.
And then the coalition forces came in and
Yeah.
steamrolled the North Koreans all the way to the Chinese border. And because we were pushing them to the Chinese border, and the Chinese were also communists, they're like, "Yeah, we'll fight too," and they decided to join in, and they pushed us all the way back. And then they pushed back again to the 48th parallel, and the war's still going on today in armistice. So yeah.
Oh, that's true. I had a elementary school teacher that was talking about how she just got back like 5 years ago from it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they were like she wasn't in the war because I was like in the 70s or 60s or whatever the fuck.
That
But
was
she
in the
was on that
60s.
DM. Yeah, she was along the DMZ.
Yeah,
Like she was like she would help them patrol and shit, and she
yeah.
was like do joints.
It's mostly Marines and artillery units that are in
Yeah,
Korea.
yeah,
But anyways,
yeah.
let's talk about
Anyways,
football.
yeah. Do you want to start
Um,
with yours because you actually have something nice to say for once?
yeah, we won.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're still on a losing schedule, but still top of the bracket.
Yep.
Um,
Leading it, I think 6-9,
7-8.
7-8. 6-9 are the Panthers.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm trying to
The
pull up
good
the
news is, I think all you guys have to do is literally win one more game, but I have to look at your schedule because I think you're winning flat out in your division.
next week. Play the Falcons.
Yeah, but that's not that. You shouldn't have a problem with that game.
Oh, I'm sorry, not the Falcons. The Panthers.
Panthers. Oh, okay, so that's exactly what it's going to be then.
Yeah,
You let
once
them win. I think that's what's going to be the issue. I want to
uh
see what your divisional record is. I
I
have
hate
too much shit
Google
on this desk.
sometimes because they won't let me open like a second tab of it. Like I can't just say open in a new tab when I right click things on their interface for using it. Um
What?
yeah.
What do you mean?
So like when I use Google for like all the statistics because I just say
Yeah,
Google week 16 or whatever and it pulls the NFL up for me.
yeah.
But I can't like right click like on the thing to like open it up a new tab. It just gives me a bunch of different other jargon. Anyways, uh
Anyways,
we're 7-8, Panthers 6-9, Saints 6-9, Falcons and 5-10.
yeah. The
If
big thing
once we
about
beat
that is I'm looking
if
at
we beat the Panthers and the Saints lose, even if the Saints win, I think we still are okay.
yeah. Well, conference wise, oh, but does it go by conference when you guys tie, or is it? Oh, it's if they beat you the last time you met, and I don't know if you remember.
Do not remember. I want to say we beat the Panthers. I could be wrong though at this point.
I mean, you have more losses than wins. So if I had to guess, I would say you guys lost.
Let's see. Colts, Cowboy, preseason Cowboys,
See,
Saints. We beat the
you guys
Saints.
lost to the
Falcons,
Panthers.
Chiefs. We beat the Falcons. We did lose to the Panthers.
Yeah. So if the Panthers win next week,
Saints. Yeah,
trying to see if the Panthers, if they've lost to the Saints at all.
I'm sure
No,
they
they beat
have.
them once.
Well, they've
I
had
think
to
they
play them
played.
twice.
Yeah, and then they play them in week 18. So
Yeah.
if you guys lose here and the Panthers win next week, well, actually, if you guys lose here, I don't think you guys are making it. You'd have to win the next two games. The Panthers would have to lose at least. Well, they would lose one with you.
Everything. Yeah, the mental gymnastics that has to go into this.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, no, I think they would still win because their point differential would be less than yours unless something
we don't
horrific
go by
happens.
points. We don't go by point differentials in football.
Right, but if you guys have the same record,
Like
you
school
guys have the
record.
same. Well, I guess you would have to also have the conference record or
Well, we
the
lost to
division
the
record.
Saints twice when we went to the Super Bowl the one year.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
We just had a better record than them. And we
Yeah.
beat them the third time that we faced them.
Yeah. All I know is that whoever comes out of the NFC South is either going to play the Cowboys or the Eagles.
If we play you, we'll be fine.
No, absolutely not. You think Brady's gone through a divorce and now we're going to
We
divorce him from the NFL?
we
Yeah,
beat
you guys
you
won
week
week
one,
one.
and then
Yeah,
injured
week
you.
one. Yeah, well, you did me a favor because after that injury, Dak started looking a little better, and I think this has really been a big learning year for him.
Yeah, learning to fucking get out of the fucking league.
He has, I don't know, man. He's what is it, like 6 year in the league at this point?
Yeah,
Maybe it's 5.
you barely beat the Eagles without their
Yeah,
starting
but
quarterback.
the same way that the Eagles barely beat us when we were missing our starting quarterback. Oh yeah,
Anyways,
oh yeah.
why am I still
I talk about that too.
what?
The Dude, like we'll talk about it when we get to my side.
Um, it was mostly just like a soccer game on Christmas. I don't think any but team wanted to play on Christmas, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't. Um,
Nah,
Tom Brady
nah,
doesn't
same
care
here.
anymore. He's forgone his family.
Well, he's
Um,
open on Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I think Giselle got all the rights to the kids.
who cares?
Kids suck. It's
Um,
fine. He made it out like a bandit.
sure he did. Um, Tom Brady threw for 32 of 48. Two interceptions though. That kind of blows, but it's the Cardinals, so they really didn't do anything with it.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Kyler Murray is still out. I think he like
yep.
fucked his leg. I don't know what happened.
We played some dude named Trace McSorley who threw 24 for 45.
Okay, not too bad.
That's
Actually,
less than 50%.
well, yeah, but he's a backup to the Cardinals. That's pretty much what I expected.
Yeah. You know what I noticed with the Cardinals? They have like no other than I think it was it JJ or TJ, one of the Watt brothers. They have like nobody for defense. They are very small because Leonard Fournette was pushing people over, and he doesn't do that. Actually,
Well,
all
yeah,
of our offensive line were pushing people over
yeah.
and running them over. It was fun to watch. Tom Brady ran for a yard.
Are you sure he didn't just stumble
He
forward?
well, he failed. He went negative a yard and went forward a yard. So for an average of half a yard,
Yeah. What a
so
champ.
so 2 yards. Double than normal.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, it was mostly just a kicking game. We would get down the field, and then it would be like JJ Watt would get a stop. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
JJ Watt would carry the defense for as long as he could.
Yeah, and I think he
Um,
said that it's also his like he's retiring after this.
yeah, that he had his heart
And
condition thing.
oh yeah,
We
where it
talked about
stopped or something.
we
What
talked
was
about
it?
earlier in the year. Yeah,
Then they jump started him and he was fine, and then he went to play like 2 days later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say I was. No, I would say I was more nervous going into this game than all the other games. Like I knew going into what was it like the 49ers our second time we played them and like the Chiefs that we were going to lose those games. But some of these games that we should have won, like fucking uh where was it? It was a big
No
one.
idea. Let's see.
Against the Browns we should have won.
Browns, yeah, definitely.
Uh
Steelers weren't looking too hot, but they barely edged you out there.
yeah. Seahawks we shouldn't have won. That was a Germany game too.
Yeah.
We beat the Rams, which yeah, cool. Um Yeah, we lost the Ravens, which is whatever. They're a good team. Still should have won that.
Yeah.
Panthers again earlier in the season. Like you said, the Steelers. All these games that we lost, that we honestly on paper should have won, was these coming to bite us in the ass now.
Yeah.
I also don't know why week 17 they haven't like come out with like times for
Yeah, I don't
all
know
week
about that
or
either.
week 18. I don't know why.
I think they're trying to get it to where people actually want to watch.
Oh,
So they're
because
probably
there's
moving a lot of
Saturday
games to
game.
like prime time.
Because now we have Saturday games.
Yeah, now like college football, who gives a fuck, is gone.
Yeah, so I think they're like, what the fuck is going on? There's never been Saturday games. No, I know there's been
Mm,
Saturday games. There's been Saturday games for a couple years.
yeah. Well, I
You
think
know
yeah, a lot of this stuff's
why?
to be decided to be like, oh, would one what has weight? What who's looking for the playoffs still? Who's in the hunt?
I honestly don't understand why we just don't play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they give them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Have Sunday be like the actual final day, and then pick it up again on Monday. I don't
As
understand why
opposed
we
to it starting like
on
Wednesday, I guess,
Thursday.
or two, or well, it would technically start Tuesday
Well, it starts
because
Thursday.
no, so it starts Thursday, ends Wednesday. Is that how you see the weeks
Yeah.
going?
Well,
Hmm.
it technically ends on Monday. The
Monday
last game of
night.
the week, and the last game of the week is on Monday night. So
Okay,
why don't
yeah.
we just start on Monday, go Tuesday and Wednesday, take off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then start back up on Sunday?
Well, because how many time slots can you fill? So like Monday,
Uh,
they would Tuesday and
quite a
Wednesday
bit.
don't be able to be like one game.
Well, yeah, that's better. You give a chance for more people to watch when you have like 20 games going on at once. You
So
can't
you
get a.
say okay.
I'm saying do it for more for viewership than anything else.
Oh, okay, as opposed to having like 3 games played at 12, 3 games played at 3,
Yeah,
3 at 7. Well, shit, I think what there's 32 teams, so 16 games.
yeah.
Bye weeks don't start till like week 6 almost.
So you could do
So
two
it's,
games on Monday, 2 games on Tuesday, 2 games on uh Wednesday. So that's 6 games right there, right?
yeah,
And then you could do the remaining, what was it? Fucking
you could do another 2 on Thursday, so that'd be 2, 4, 6,
well, I was
and
saying leave
then
it off Thursday. Well, let's add Thursday. Let's go 2 more games on Thursday, so that's 8. You take off
okay,
Friday and Saturday. You leave those for college or whatever, right?
college and high school,
College
yeah.
high, yeah. And then on Sunday you can do the whatever
The
the
other
else.
8 games,
Yeah, you could do 2 at the one time slot, 2 at another time slot.
well,
Then
it'd
you
be
have your
12,
morning
3, and 7.
you have your morning games, your afternoon games, your mid-afternoon games, and then your night games.
Yeah, but there's only really 3 time slots, so that way they don't run into each other.
What do you mean? You could do it like the 9:30 game.
So you would be adding morning games in this scenario.
Yeah, well, yeah, they already do morning games now because of all the fucking like European ones that they do now.
That is true, but usually that's just one game.
Yeah, but I'm saying I guarantee you by I want to say the end of next year we're gonna have an expansion and they're gonna add 2 European teams. I guarantee you
Ooh,
England and Germany are going to have a team.
I would really enjoy that. I think it'd be a pain in the ass with like jet lag and shit. Because what's the difference between like California and let's say Germany? Because that's the farthest east.
So let's see. It takes about 5 hours to fly to California from California to the East Coast. It takes about 8 hours to fly to the East Coast to England, and I'd add like another 2 hours on top of that. So I'd say like 10 hours from East Coast to Germany. So it'd be like a 15-hour voyage if you're going to go
And then
from California to there or vice versa. But still, that's not really my problem.
that's true. It looks like they are 9 hours ahead of, let's say, California in Germany.
Hmm.
So think about it. We'd be doing this podcast at midnight in
Well,
Germany.
no, that's not my problem either.
But then how would it work? Like, yeah, and that's another thing. How would that work? Now there's gonna have to
They
be
just play.
games,
Well, then they just play them in the morning.
and they would have to be
Well, it'd be morning our
yeah. So
time. It'd
right,
be
so they
night
would be
their time.
playing right. So let's say the game over there is at 7 p.m. So
Hmm.
9 hours back, it would be 10 over here, which it was.
Yeah, I believe the game started at 9:30,
So
9:45
now
ish.
there would be so now if a Germany team was coming to go play against a Los Angeles team, they would have to also have the late game,
They would be a
or
morning game.
they would have to be
They
a
would
morning game.
be, yeah, they'd be a morning game here, and they would be a night game over there. That's not that hard to figure out.
Right, but then what's the difference with? So that's the only time slots that they can do.
Well, if they were an away team, they can do an afternoon game. It doesn't matter if they're watching it or not. You got to understand, Europeans are really big about their sports, and they'll be up at like 4 a.m. to watch a game.
All right, yeah, I will give you that. That is true. They
They're
were
they're
going
they're already out till 4 a.m. afterwards drinking,
right,
especially
singing,
Germans.
yeah, singing all kinds of soccer songs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of soccer, have you seen Ted Lasso?
No, I don't
Oh
watch
my god.
anything to do with soccer.
Oh my god. It's based on soccer, but you barely watch any of the game, which is the best part. But
Oh,
it's a great fucking show. But
uh-huh.
it doesn't have a lot. It like soccer is the reason,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't really take over the show.
I kind of failed to talk about the Buccaneers even more in this game, other than it just being like a kicking fest until the fourth quarter, where both teams like scored touchdowns, and then we won in overtime.
Yeah, I did see that there was a lot of you guys neither one of y'all could convert on third down. Think you guys
Yeah,
both
we
have less than 50%? Yeah. 6 of
yeah.
17, 5 of 19. You guys really tried though. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
396 yards, 325 for Cardinals. I mean, it just really came down to who was going to be able to convert. Let's see. I'm looking to try and see because usually has like first downs. Yeah, first downs. So you were able to do 5 first down. Yeah, 21 to their 16. And I don't think the Cardinals are not an explosive team, especially not
They lost
having
and they got
Kyler
fumbled.
Murray.
Or Brady threw interceptions, and the Cardinals didn't really do anything with them. I think they turned one into a field goal, maybe.
Yeah,
Their fumbles, I believe, got turned into both times got turned into field goals, and the interception got turned. If not, it's just waste of time. But we were able to capitalize on some of their fuck ups where they weren't really able to do it on ours.
yeah.
Um, yeah, the Cardinals do not have big players. I do not know why they don't, because I was looking at them and I'm like, these guys are like short. I mean, it doesn't mean much, but when you have somebody like um Leonard Fournette coming at you, it takes like two or three guys to take him down.
Oh yeah, Fournette is a power runner for sure.
And the man had 72 and like I said, the man doesn't really run that far when he gets the ball. He's used for like punching a hole and getting that first down,
Yeah.
or he's used as like that screen. Brady threw a lot of fucking screen passes this game, and I don't know why.
It's a good question. I
I
mean, the
saw
only
like
time you would run a screen is just try and pick up like
Tory
3, 4
screen.
yards. Yeah, pick up 3, 4 yards. Maybe the defense is playing really far off, and you feel really confident in your receiver's ability to kind of read his blocks and get through. Because all he has to do is beat one guy. So
Yeah.
maybe they were just trying to attack like that outside edge. Also, I just found out that apparently Fournette has been playing through a foot injury, which makes a lot of sense because he was out like what, week 8 or something.
And all of our team have been out at one point or another.
Yeah, but it looks like he's still playing through it, and I kind of get it.
I
But
mean, if you're playing against the Cardinals, you could play through it. They're
yeah,
fucking five
they're the
foot
Cardinals.
four.
Yeah,
I think all their players are short, so Kyler Murray can see over them.
that's the only thing that makes sense. And even then, he's still inaccurate as shit. If it's over 20 yards, I mean, you might as well just be shooting buckshot a mile out.
It's like every pass of his is a Hail Mary.
Yeah,
Well, that's all I got to say on them. We just better win next week and we'll be okay, I guess.
yeah, because
Yeah, if we go against the Falcons, no matter what, I think the Falcons lost, didn't they?
yes, they did.
Yeah, they're in last place.
I don't remember who they played. I think wasn't it the Saints?
They played the Falcons or the Ravens. I'm sorry, it was a
Oh,
bird
okay.
game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were talking about it last week with
And
the
then
bird
there's
game,
another
and
bird. They have another bird game against the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, you better hope that the Cardinals took it personally, and they're
Well,
gonna
they
try
don't
and make
have
something happen next week.
they don't have a professional handoffer Marcus Mariota anymore, so I'm sure we're fine.
I don't know, man.
I mean, you
I
could
think,
have
yeah, he got
Desmond
benched and then he just
Rider.
left. Yeah,
He threw 22 out of 33 for his game against the Ravens for 218 yards. Their
isn't
backup
bad.
QB threw for 9 through 17 for
Yeah,
115 yards, but the Ravens fucking beat him.
Jesus.
So yeah, I'm not worried.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be just fine.
Other than that, the Saints are still a toss-up.
Yeah,
They should learn from the Buccaneers and cut famous Jameis.
yeah, yeah.
We
Because I
haven't
think,
seen him since like week 4.
yeah, yeah. Well, he got hurt, and then when he got healthy, like 2 or 3 weeks later,
He's
they were
always
just
hurt,
like,
and
right,
even when he's healthy, he's not good.
right. So yeah, when he came back, he's like, "Oh, I'm healthy. Am I gonna get the starting spot?" And coach is just like, "Why?" And Andy Dalton's been under center, and then they bring in Taysom Hill when they need to, which is pretty
Half
constant.
of half of his yards in 2 plays.
Oh yeah,
They should just fire Andy Dalton. Just let Taysom Hill be quarterback.
they should. I think it, like just have him throw a couple quarterback drills during the week. Already a better quarterback, a dual threat, not washed up. You know,
He's a bit
he can't.
old.
He kind of reminds me of like a Matt Hasselbeck type of thing. You know, he had a good couple. Well, I don't know if Hasselbeck really had anything well with the Saints, but you know, he had a decent couple seasons, and then it just kind of fell off real quick with him, and then he just jumped around the league.
But you're
Uh,
still both the Eagles and Cowboys are still up for
yes,
wild card. Like you, neither of you have clinched your division technically. I mean, you have and you
technically,
haven't.
yeah. So just before we get into it, so they just lost, so we're 1-1 in our division.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, Cowboys got to win out the next 2 games, and that's pretty much the only way it's gonna happen. Even then, though, I mean, we tie at 13-4. It's 1-1 at that point. I don't know what all the tiebreaker rules are. I was reading them, but I couldn't. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, and you got the Commanders too, who you lost to last time. Oh no, you beat. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I know. Didn't you lose to the Commanders, or somebody lost to the Commanders who shouldn't have lost? I don't
the
remember. It was
Eagles
probably
lost to
me.
the Commanders.
That's right.
Yeah, that I was looking at because I was trying to remember who their other loss was. Yeah, but even then, even if we
We
clinched the
lost to the
division,
Jags. That's what it was.
yeah, we lost to the Jags last week or last week. But we would still need the 49ers to at least lose one game. Vikings have to lose the next two, and we might be sitting at the number one spot in the NFC is still up for grabs, kind of. But I mean, really, I'm seeing the Cowboys going to the 5, which is no problem with me because if we gotta play anybody from the NFC South, oh, I'm very excited about this. You might have had that little week 1 thing where Dak got hurt, but you know Dak was hurt. You're playing against Cooper Rush. Like let's
Your
relax a little bit.
defense is just
Your
way
defense
better.
was yeah. Well, no, your defense was good then. Actually, it's not too bad. I mean, you still have one of the lowest at 304, as opposed to pretty much everybody else.
Hmm.
I mean, you still have a pretty good defense. Your offense is
The only
just
one that beats us is the 49ers.
yeah. 49ers has just been powerhouses with their point differential.
Just shame that they got most of the way there with Jimmy G, and then he got it. And I'm sorry
Yeah.
to keep interrupting you, but
No, you're perfectly fine. No, this is what we're talking about. So either way, I mean the Eagles and Cowboys have clinched in the playoffs, which is nice. I mean, 2 years in a row. But I want to win it all, and this game really showed a lot, and it showed a lot of good. You know, it actually brought some uh faith, I should say, because you know that's the Cowboys motto. This is our year. You know, everything looks great on paper. You know, we feel good about it. We're always It's gonna be our year.
Count 13.
Yeah, and that was still a football move, and I think we would have beat them. And whatever, whatever. Anyways, we're not gonna bring up old wounds. We don't even have that guy anymore. I don't even know if he's around. But 1 second.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of good things. All right. So first off, Cowboys v Eagles. Cowboys went out 40-34. Pretty good. I'm very happy with the offense. With that being said, though, still just some minor tweaks, but I still kind of have to give it to the Eagles defense. They made us have to be kind of off kilter a little bit here and there, but I don't think they're not 60% of the team is a Pro Bowl team good. Like when you play Madden in 10 years and they're like, oh, this was the 2022, 2023 fucking all pro team. And then you're like, oh, this is just, it's all the Eagles team. You're like, no, it shouldn't have been. They're great on paper, but they're not. Let's relax. They're a moderately tested team at best. They had a couple games where it was a little tough, but they were able to get bailed out by the offense. In this case, not so much. So initial thoughts. Jalen Hurts is out with the shoulder injury. He's going to be out next week as well against whoever the fuck they're playing. I don't even know. But the Cowboys secondary has 2 players that are out for the rest of the season. So I feel like it measures up pretty well. You're missing a starting quarterback. We're missing 2 people that are major parts, Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown, which are some of our better quarterbacks, probably better quarterbacks in the league, cornerbacks in the league. So I feel like that kind of makes sense. It's pretty even on that. One thing I liked about the Eagles, started strong. They showed no fear in the passing. They really like Minshew, man. And I don't know, I think we've talked about it before, but you remember the guy who broke his hand or was trying to with a hammer? This man just up and walk away. If you're muted, I can't hear you. Oh, this man straight up walked away. Anyway, so Gardner Minshew in college, since he don't want to listen, for an extra year of eligibility, because I don't know what the situation was, but essentially he wasn't going to get the playing time he wanted. So I think it was like 2 seniors ahead of him. So he's like, oh, I'll just get hurt, be medically redshirted, which that means he just doesn't play, so he doesn't lose a year of eligibility. Because I think you only get 4. I think, yeah, it's just 4 in the NCAA. So he's like, oh, I'll just go and I'll break my hand. And this came out of his mouth. The man loves to play football. So anyways, he goes, drinks like a bottle of whiskey. You think he specifically said Jack. I don't know how much. And then he just grabs a hammer and just starts fucking wailing on it. Problem is,
Sucks.
okay, well, you're wrong. But no, actually you're right. I don't like the taste of Jack Daniels. I don't like the sour mash thing they use. I prefer a smoother, oakier finish, more of a bassy, if that makes sense. But yeah, so he downs that. He's drunk as shit. I think he just missed his hand 4 times, or he's just hitting like scraping off the knuckles. Goes, boom, boom, boom. Doesn't break it. Still loses the fucking year of eligibility. And thankfully it worked out. I don't know if it was his throwing hand. I don't think so. Because if it was, what a fucking idiot. But I don't think it was. And he got really lucky. Anyways. So he goes out there, no fear in the passing game. But again, we're missing 2 of our starting secondary, which Dallas hasn't had a good one in a while. A very long time. We've had the offense, but there's been a number of times where we've just been outscored because the defense just can't stop anything, specifically over the air. And yeah, so it's really not that terrifying. It's really not that admirable to be like, oh, no fear in the passing game. Yeah, you're playing against, half a step slower players. Big thing is it doesn't give them answers as they no longer have the double run game with Hurts out. And Minshew can run if he needs to be, and he doesn't shy away from contact. He had a couple plays where he tried, man. He really went out there. He put his shoulder down. That man wants to win. The Cowboys line kept him quiet on the ground. They made sure to contain him, keep him close. If he got out, it was through, a long side blitz, defensive end really coming around, trying to The middle is supposed to flush him out, then he come around, like a blitz. Or not a blitz, but, just a basic 4-man rush. And everyone is going to say that this game, the Cowboys got lucky. Well, if Hurts was there, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, get the phallus out of your mouth and start working on your shit football knowledge of your own Eagles team. All right? One man doesn't just win the game.
Would have lost if Jalen Hurts was there.
No, I don't think so. Because what would have happened is we still would have kept the 4. And throughout the game, we made sure to keep that containment going. Anytime that there was a quarterback option, there was at least one person and there was a second, either outside linebacker that wouldn't rush the middle, or there was the safety that came down to give help on that backside with the cornerback if anything was going on those options. Like, there was plans in place. And they didn't have to attack the defensive ends anymore because we were trying to make sure that they were covered on any of those flats whenever there was a rollout. There really wasn't too much here. But, I mean, Hurts would have tried to pick it up on the ground every single time. And you know what? Fine. Get 5, 10, 15 yards, whatever. Extend the drive in those first 2-3 quarters. But you keep bouncing out for 15 yards. We rush the middle and you have to run all the way to the outside. Those 15 yards add up real quick of just behind the line of scrimmage working back and forth. You would have had an exhausted Hurts by the end of the game. And that's not what you want when you need him to make that big pass, or we have it covered because we know the big pass is coming and now he has to pick up 20 or 30 yards on his feet. And then he's tired. It makes, a bad move, this and that. I really don't think Jalen Hurts would have been that big of a factor here. Obviously, he would have done better than Minshew, but I don't think that if they would have won, it would have came down to like a point or two. The field goal at the end of the game type thing. With that being said, though, and all of that, Hurts, you're a good quarterback. Keep it up. I hate you, but that's mainly because you play for the Eagles. But yeah, you're pretty good. I will be the first one to admit that. With that being said, quarterback is the main part of the team, but that's why I have backups. And the head coach knows how to coach, which I will applaud McCarthy when we had Cooper Rush. I don't know what the fuck the name of the guy is for the Eagles, the head coach. But every time I saw him, they on his face, it looks like the man who hasn't seen anything but the bottom of a bottle and divorce papers while he tries to make something out of, again, a moderately tested team. He's got bags under his eyes. He's got no soul. He is I've been working so fucking hard. I think he did well. Cowboys had to play without Dak, so I understand where the Eagles are coming from and everything. And, we were... I'll tell you, when we were talking about the podcast when Cooper Rush at the helm, I was saying, hey, ups and downs, lefts and rights, they're different quarterbacks. It's going to be different things. And Cooper has certain things that I like over Dak, and I wouldn't compare them because, again, like I said, I think Dak is a superstar quarterback with above average decision making skills. Actually, let's call him average, but think about how dumb the average person is, and then 50% or less than that. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you still got to go out there. You still got to make plays, and I think they did very well using Gardner Minshew and incorporating him into the game plan. And even though he doesn't run, he can run. So I don't know, I think they didn't change too much about it, but he had a great game other than the 2 picks. But before those 2 picks, he was throwing everywhere and anywhere, really using everywhere around the field. I mean, he knows the playbook. He has nothing better to do but sit down and study it while Hurts is out there making money. So as for the Dallas offense, Dak was the key to this. He was actually extremely efficient in his passing. I think it was 75%. He had that early pick 6, which literally I think is the 5th or 6th play in the very first drive. Entirely his fault. Again, he's trying to zip that ball in, get it to his receiver as fast as he can, and trying to force these throws. The missed throws are him falling into his old ways, especially later on. Like I said, he's 75%. And these missed throws were him trying to go with those hard bullet passes and trying to beat the receiver to the spot rather than leading them with the pass. That little loft. That's all he needed. Because that defensive end just came down. Wasn't a lot of pressure. He was maybe 4 or 5 yards up. He could have closed it, but all Dak had to do was just float it. Just a little float. And that would have been an easy 5 to 15 yards, depending on, a shake or two. T.Y. Hilton, wide receiver we just picked up, veteran, played in Indianapolis for a number of seasons. I think wasn't playing. I think got hurt in 2020. Didn't play at all, and then we picked him up 2 weeks ago. I think he's going to be great for these younger guys. I think our oldest one that we have on the team is Gallup with like 4 years. I think maybe CeeDee Lamb I think has 2. Yeah, Gallup is our oldest receiver at 4 years, 5 years. But Hilton's going to be great here, man. He's going to be the asset that we really hoped that, like, Des Bryant would be. Kind of Amari Cooper, but that one was more for just like the physical prowess he had. But maybe just trying to teach these kids, what to do and when. You get to the NFL because you're good at what you do and you know what's going on. But it doesn't hurt to have somebody who's been doing it for a very long time come in and say, hey, you see your quarterback, you know this route, you know that these are the top 5 things. It's just like someone coming in and training you. Oh, I've been welding for 35 years. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can lay a bead down and all that shit, but can you turn around and be like, okay, well, this kind of metal is this kind of this and that, this kind of voltage is going to be running through whatever, make sure you have your set to this or whatever the fuck you got to do to actually put down and have it work out to where it's actually textbook perfect and it's the strongest thing that it's going to be. I think he's really going to bring in this like kind of slow routes. It'll be long to develop, but I think he's going to do fantastic, especially over the top. And I expect to be talking about him a lot more here in the next few, I'm going to say 6 weeks. Definitely 6 weeks. I think it's going to be a deep playoff run. And then, oh man. Eagles did play well, did a hell of a job blocking for Minshew. Biggest thing with Minshew was, man, as soon as they got pressure on him, he started feeling this phantom pressure for the rest of the drive. As soon as that, started overthrowing, started being a little spooked, moving his legs a little too much, checking down real quick, restarting, checking down. You could see in his eyes just moving constantly, but never really, how when you're reading a book and you're just kind of skimming along and you start thinking about something else, but your eyes keep going? That's what it kind of felt like. Let's see, what else? Yeah, Cowboy defense still very strong in the box. They were shut down. What's his name? Sanders, Sadie, something, whatever. 2 fumbles from that dude. Spent late in the second half. Well, there was one in the third, one in the second half that really both recovered by the Dallas. And that, it was the turnovers that killed him. But that's the whole thing about, defense is supposed to make turnovers, whether it's interceptions, whatever. And I think they did you say, yeah, they didn't have Hurts again. They didn't have him, they put it all in the running back. Yeah, but what are you going to do? Have your quarterback run, know exactly when he's going to run? It's not like it's not hard. There's keys to every single play. And when he does his little option, of course, you're going to go out and hit him. So or do you want to put your quarterback in danger like that, especially here, because he's not going to get to the outside because we know for a fact we need to keep him inside. And we know where he's going and everything, and we have no issue with how aggressive our defense is getting to the ball even once it's bounced out. It's whatever. Final thoughts here. I think the Eagles have been, moderately tested all year, and they did decent on Sunday. The defense came out with that pick 6. That was entirely Dak's fault. All he had to do was just kind of peek it right over. Would have been easy. But, he's getting better. Not the same, 2 or 3 interceptions a game or 2 interceptions per game at what he's averaging now in the last 6 weeks. And they put up 27 points. That's what they put up. It might have been 34, but the offense put up 27 points. And I don't know that Jalen Hurts is a 13-point quarterback. On top of already all that, I don't think that he can personally himself pick up another 2 with the way that the Dallas defense is playing, especially against running quarterbacks at the time. Cowboys offense very efficient, but we still have the shadow of Prescott hanging on tight. Again, those zip balls in that pick 6 where he just needs to relax. He goes through his checks and he wants to just zip it right in, call it a day, but it's not You got to relax. Just sit back there. It was a game we needed to win, which is the next two games as well. But this was a game this was the last hard game of the season, I'd say. If we can beat these guys, we can pretty much beat anybody in the game. And I think it gave us a lot of confidence. And I'm calling it here. I really think that it's going to go all the way to the NFC division. And we'll take it all the way to the end. I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but it's going to be a damn close game. And then we did all the mental gymnastics to see about, who's going to be number one in the division, blah, 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 all that stuff. And yeah, all in all, Dallas is doing very well. Everybody's going to talk shit because that's all they ever do about Dallas when you guys don't even know nothing about your own teams. Because we know all the history. We're America's team and we're going to stick with it. But yeah. And that was week 16 for the Cowboys.
All right. Quick recap over the standings. We kind of went over NFC already. In the NFC East, you have Eagles at top 13-2, Cowboys 11-4, Giants have fallen off at 8-6, and Commanders are 7-7.
Yeah.
NFC West, you have the 49ers at 11-4, Seattle 7-8, Rams at 5-10, Cardinals at 4-11. The Rams fell off hard.
Oh yeah, they think what they had a
Going
good start to
from
the season at
Super
like
Bowl
2-3.
winners to,
Yeah,
like, shit.
yeah. They won their last game, but I think they lost like 4 or 5 in a row before that.
Yeah, they're on their first win after losing I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
In the NFC North, the Vikings have clinched their division at 12-3. Then Lions at 7-8, Packers at 7-8, and the Bears at 3-2.
Well,
In the NFC South, you had the Buccaneers at 7-8, then the Panthers at 6-9, Saints at 6-9, and the Falcons at 5-10. For the AFC,
and whoever wins the NFC South playing the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah. In the AFC, you have the Bills that have clinched it at 12-3, Dolphins at
Yep.
8-7, Patriots at 7-8, and the Jets at 7-8. I never think I'd see the same fucking
Record is the Patriots.
yeah, in my lifetime.
Yo, absolutely not. But that's the whole thing, right? Like the Jets, the Jaguars, the Browns, the Texans, they're just the punching bag of the league.
Oh yeah.
And look at them. Well, just look at the Jaguars. Well, not even. That's not.
Let's look at the Patriots.
Yeah.
AFC West, you have Chiefs at 12-3, Chargers at 9-6, Raiders at 6-9, Broncos at 11. Let's ride.
Oh yeah, Broncos at 4'11". That's about as tall as Wilson is.
In the AFC North, you have Bengals and Ravens clinched wild cards at 11-4 and 10-5, and the Steelers at 7-8, 6-9. AFC South looks like our division at 7-8 for Titans, Colts 4-10, and Texans 2-12. Good lord.
Yeah.
I think I know who has the first pick for the
Oh yeah.
What do you call it, draft?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's going 100% to the Texans.
You're gonna have a work cut out for you for the Titans because they need this game.
Oh, they really do.
And I think they're gonna play hard.
I think so too. And it's been a minute since I've seen the Titans. I think Tannehill's their quarterback.
Like this is what I noticed with when I was playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals have like no shot of at a wild card.
Right? Yeah, no,
they weren't playing to win. They were playing to beat us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like they just didn't want us to win. And I was like, I forgot teams do this. They don't so much just care about winning. They just want you to lose.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you're gonna have a tough game next week.
Yeah. Well, the good news
So
is,
will we.
it's never good
But
hills,
first
but
we have the Panthers.
I don't think Tannehill is going to be back anytime.
Tell you.
He's something about his leg or his ankle, I think.
Let's see. They just lost to the Texans, so that's
Yeah,
good.
19-18 or something.
Right for you. 19.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know why I clicked your game.
Yeah, and then Tannehill will be out for the regular season. Unlikely for playoffs
Yeah.
after surgery. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I don't even know. He got fucked up in that game then
Like I said, they probably won't be
against
playing.
the Chargers. Yeah,
They might be. They might not be playing to win, but they're willing to beat you.
yeah. I mean, they still have a shot for playoffs. I'm trying to see who they would
But they
play
do.
more than likely.
It's
Yeah,
Bills,
they do.
Browns,
The Chargers, it looks like, and it's
yeah.
six. Yeah, they're. And, oh man, the Justin Herbert, it's a good kid.
Mhm.
I don't know anything else about the Chargers, so that shows how well they're making a name in the league. Yeah. We gave the Jaguars life 2 weeks ago. Titans on 5-game losing streak. Texans were on a 12 before the Giants were there. The Titans were like, "Hey man, you do this for me, and we'll give you our number 3 pick or something. You guys really need it." Also, I spelled
Well,
Hurts like 4 different ways because I didn't know how to spell it.
it's Hurtz, I believe.
I don't. No, TS.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I spelled it HURTZ, HERTS, HERTZ. And I didn't look it up once. I was like, that's how little I care about the man.
Average Cowboys fan right there.
Hey, it don't matter to me.
Fucking spell.
Hey, don't need to spell. You're winning.
You can't read.
Don't need to read when you're winning. As long as the big number is bigger than the other number, is good.
Speaking of reading, while you were blabbing on about the Cowboys, I switched over to my Reddit tab real quick because that's what before you called me.
Your what?
So, like
Your Reddit tab?
I opened up Reddit because I had 10 minutes to kill waiting for you.
Sorry.
And one of the first things I saw was a article that said Steven Spielberg would like to apologize to all the sharks for the negative press that his blockbuster film Jaws had given, and that's about as far as I read because I thought that was funny.
They're fucking sharks. You should be terrified of sharks.
No, you really shouldn't.
Well, okay, you tell me,
Sharks
Florida man. Why shouldn't I be scared of sharks?
Sharks kill less people than deer and cows do.
Yes, but you understand how many times people want to go up to touch a cow before they want to touch a shark?
I would love to touch a shark.
Yeah, but how
And
many
I
times have you
have.
touched a cow?
Plenty of times.
Yeah, okay, if you had to give a ratio to cow touches to shark touches, what would it be?
Probably 3-1.
For every 3 cows you touch 1 shark?
Yeah.
That's okay. Alright. You know what it is for me? Like 1,000 to 0. I don't think I've ever touched a shark that was alive. I should also say.
Well, sharks aren't that thing to be that scared of. But yeah, since Jaws had come out, they've gotten fucking demolished in the news and the press and films and.
You know who really likes sharks?
Steve Irwin.
No, he likes what do you call those things? The sea flaps.
Always liked all the animals. But
No, well that too.
who?
Anthony Jeselnik.
I don't know who that is.
He is a comedian, and he is one of those he's a dick. Like that's his. Yeah, but his whole shtick is that he's like an asshole, and he says it how it is, and he's like, "Fuck you if you're offended," or not really "fuck you if you're offended," but that's really his whole thing. And the arrogant demeanor.
He became a comedian to hide how he really was. And probably is.
Probably, to be honest, but he had a show called The Jeselnik Offensive on uh, Comedy Central, and somebody fucking died to a shark attack. Well, his stance on it is, why don't you stop fucking with the sharks and leave the sharks alone? And then he had a like 2.5 minute shark party about where the fucking shark ate this dude.
See, that's like a little tasteless.
Yeah, that's like his whole thing.
I mean, yeah, is it funny a little bit, but it's also kind of tasteless.
Yeah, well, especially after 2 fucking minutes, like he went on, and then like instead of like, and at the end he's, they were saying like, oh hey, can you apologize? He's like, no, why would I apologize? And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's just somebody who's being a comedian to just be an asshole.
Yeah, so I think
not
that he
really
should
what-
also apologize to sharks.
It's not what being a comedian is really about.
No, but yeah, but along with Steven Spielberg, I think he should apologize for sharks because he's also painting them in a negative light. You know, they need to get a better PR person. Who was Kim Kardashian's PR person that handled like her sex tape?
Probably herself, because since she's the one that probably released it.
You know what? That's probably true too. It's crazy to think that you can be a celebrity and manage yourself. Now, first date dinners.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is probably the worst thing to have on a first date?
Depends on the person.
Okay, let's say, you're from Florida. You like,
Mhm.
things that were once alive. So let's start with like a meat, I guess. Like you need a protein, right? Yeah, meat. I don't know what, like alligator. Would you like? I think alligator would be like a really cool first date thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the first dates I went on was we went to a Creole restaurant. So it's not that it
Ooh.
wasn't on the menu; it's just I didn't get it.
Ah, okay. I don't think I've ever been to a Creole restaurant. Also, couldn't
Yeah,
tell you what's Creole and what's not.
it's like think of like Louisiana, like Bayou food, like jambalaya, crab
Incest.
boils. Yeah, sure, that's what you get on a menu. But yeah, like sausages, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
yeah. What else? What I think would be the worst food?
Yeah. I
Anything with
personally thought,
anything with like heavy garlic.
yeah, something like smelly. Like I don't think like a really heavy spaghetti. I think would be the
Spaghetti's
worst.
fine.
Nah, you can't have something with that much sauce. There's gonna be
Yeah,
stains. You're gonna slurp because nobody
I
knows how
don't
to
know
eat
what
it.
kind of like Italian restaurants you're going to, but normally spaghetti's not supposed to be like swimming in sauce.
Yeah, but I don't know how many Italians there are in Florida.
A lot.
But are there really?
Yeah, it's like South New York here.
Really
Mm-hmm.
wild. Well, anyways, we don't have a lot of Italians here. And actually, I don't know. I don't go around looking for them. But anytime I go, I mean, it's not. I just don't think you should have anything like saucy or anything you can eat with your hands, minus like
Yeah, I mean,
tacos. Like I think you should be able to eat like a taco or take them out for tacos or something. But you would have to
really
stay away from
drippy.
like the really, yeah. But you would
I
have to
wouldn't
stay
say
from like
saucy, just
beef
something
or
like
pork.
drippy.
Yeah,
Well, no,
something that's
steak's
just.
fine.
Oh, you could do steak, yeah, but you couldn't do like ground beef. Depending how they made it though.
What are you just having ground beef?
Well,
You
in the
normally just
tacos,
eat
dude.
like a piece of ground beef.
Right, but it's gonna be oily. It's gonna be drippy. It's gonna get on your hands.
What kind
You
of
want
fucking
something.
ground beef are you eating?
It's really oily ground beef. Look, right now I'm visiting my parents, and we live 10 minutes from the
Are you
border.
getting
And
like
every
80%
single,
fat, 20% meat? What are you doing?
every single fucking taco you eat, everything is fucking greasy, dude. I don't know what to tell you. So that's why if you eat it, you have to make sure that you have, like, you have to make sure that you have the second taco underneath to catch everything as like a second napkin almost.
Speaking
Or
of
you can just get
tacos,
like chicken.
speaking of tacos, there's this taco I really want to eat that I've seen a couple of times. It's like this really, I wouldn't say a small taco, but it's just like meat, cheese, and it's folded over, and you dip it in something. I want,
Literally anything you want.
yeah, but I've
Like I
seen
don't
it
know.
like a couple times, and I really want to know what it is.
Well, what do you
There's
mean they
no,
dip it in something? Like, is it like, do they
it's
dip it
like
in a
a
queso? Is like a salsa?
no, it's not like salsa. It's like juice, almost like a meat juice, almost.
A
What it
meat
looks like.
juice? Are you like an au jus kind of
Yeah,
thing?
kind of like an au jus.
Like a Mexican au jus.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
tacos
I
that.
mean, there's like we dip it in like our menudo and shit. You know what menudo is?
Yeah. No, I don't. But it's like birria.
Barbacoa, maybe?
No, barria. Birria.
Barria?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting Jamie Barria, the pitcher for the
Just
Angels.
do birria tacos.
Birria. Birria?
Yeah, I don't. Does it? Listen. I'm white and I don't speak a second language. I failed Spanish.
Did you really fail Spanish?
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't even take
because
Spanish in high
I
school.
don't need to take Spanish. I'm like, why am I here? It's a waste of my class.
You're in Florida. You absolutely need to know Spanish.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. There's like so many Cubans in Florida, aren't there?
Okay, yeah, but they're all in South Florida in one spot, so
All right, fair enough. You don't live like in the area where you really need it.
no.
Yeah, I guess there is like a soup they dip in it. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't think I've ever
Anyways,
had
that
birria.
taco specifically, I wouldn't eat.
You wouldn't?
No, not on a first date. I want to, but not on a first date.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's way too drippy. I mean you got the taco, it's greasy. You're gonna have the
Plus
soup along with it,
yeah, the
the
soup.
stew. Yeah.
Oh, it's a goat taco.
Well, I
Yum.
mean you can put whatever you want really, but
What's
yeah,
tradition? It says traditionally made with goat.
yeah. Have you ever
I
had?
love goat and lamb. I'm the only person that likes it, so it never gets made.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
When I used to go to college, there used to be like a Mexican uh like supermarket, like a little style
hmm,
supermarket, but they had like a little like area in the back in the back where you could like get some like a plate for like $5, and they
yeah.
loaded up with like a meat of your choice, some yuca and like rice and beans, and you could get like this like 3 pounds of food for $5. Oh my god, it was great.
Mm, that sounds pretty fucking good.
Um, what else would I probably not do? Ribs.
Ribs, yeah. I think any type of barbecue, unless
Depends on the barbecue. If it's like a dry barbecue, if you get to add your own sauce, I think it's okay. But if it comes
well, yeah, you can do like a Nashville. I don't think Nashville does like sauce. I think they're more of a dry rub kind of barbecue place.
or St. Louis,
Yeah, I think St. Louis is also a
like
dry rub.
like St. Louis ribs normally are not super saucy.
Yeah, yeah, it's mainly a dry rub type thing. Like if anything, you get like kind of the juice, but even then, you put your fingies on it, you get all that stuff. Like, I'm like a raccoon, man. I can't have my fingers be sticky. I can't have them be like greasy. When we have kids, I'm gonna carry around like fucking like Clorox wipes because I can't do it, man. I really can't.
Birria taco, stew meat in a flavorful broth.
You
What?
still looking up the birria?
Yeah, because it's on like how to make them, and this is how you make them, right? Just listen to
Sure.
me. Listen to this. In a
I will listen
flavorful
to you.
broth
What
of
is?
spices, herbs, and chilies. Stew the
Yeah,
meat in a broth full of spices, herbs, and chilies. Which ones? I don't know. Remove meat from the
chilies. What do you mean?
stew. Okay, what about the spices and herbs? Remove
Cumin.
remove meat from the stew and shred. Pick out any large aromatics. Cinnamon stick and bay leaves. Okay,
Yeah,
there's now we're getting to
we're
aromatics.
getting somewhere, I guess. Yeah.
Prepare a hot skillet. Cool. Know how to do that. Dip corn tortillas in the sauce and place on the hot skillet. Add cheese to the entire surface area of the tortilla. Well,
Yeah,
what
that's how
kind
they
of
get their
cheese?
red coloring. I mean, whatever. Think like people do like
Uh,
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
I think.
Add cheese to the entire surface of the area. Optional. That doesn't sound optional if you're telling me to do it. Um, and birria meat to one side of it. Okay. Melt and fold. Once the cheese is melted and the shells you got the crisp, fold it over. Flip the
Man,
stew to the other side.
you are
I'm
about
really
this.
I'm really upset that they didn't tell me like what's in the sauce. Like what kind of fucking recipe is that? And then we get to the history of the taco. Oh my god.
I don't know, man. It's like what do they call it? Like an adobo sauce or something?
Oh.
Adobo. Yeah, it's
Okay.
adobo sauce.
For
I
the
think.
birria, one large onion, olive oil, a fried guajillo or pasilla peppers. I probably said that wrong. There's no, it's no J.
I have no idea what you're looking at.
Guajillo
Guajillo.
or pasilla peppers.
I don't know what pasilla is, but
No, I don't care. 3
okay.
pounds of bone and beef shank, short rib or oxtail, 2 pounds of stew meat. Okay. Beef top or bottom sirloin, beef shoulder.
But you can literally put any meat you want. I mean, the meat doesn't really matter. I think it's really about this, like whatever is kind of like of the sauce or
12
the soup you
ounces of
make.
chipotle peppers in adobo.
Yeah, and then you
Half
just kind of
cup of
stew that.
cider vinegar, cumin, oregano, paprika, tomatoes,
Hmm.
garlic, bay leaves, cinnamon. That's a lot of fucking clove. 10 cloves.
I don't know what. Well, aren't the cloves just the little like sections,
Um,
right? Because the whole thing is called a bulb.
I'm thinking of star anise. Um,
I was thinking of what?
star anise.
What the fuck? What is
It's
that?
it's they're little. They're kind of like cloves, but they're in the shape of like a star.
Star anise? I've never seen this shit in my life. Actually, no, I have seen it, but I never knew what it was.
Seems easy enough to make.
Yeah.
God, if I had a leg of goat, I'd do it like today.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so what do you have? You have chickens.
Yeah, I mean, I can literally go out and just get a chicken right now if I really wanted to.
Dude, get the rooster. That guy's an asshole.
Oh, I could do the rooster. That's a good idea.
But do you have a
Have him
second
just.
rooster?
I do. I have like 5.
Okay, then you could definitely kill that one rooster.
Um, yeah, you kind of just signed his death warrant now.
No, that's fine by me. Whenever I fucking call you, I won't have to be interrupted every 2 minutes.
I'm gonna save this page.
Jesus. You know what? I'll have my grandma write something, and I'll have her write it in Spanish so that way neither one of us can read it. Fun fact: I can kind of
actually
speak Spanish. I
I
can't read it.
can read it.
Yeah, like I can read it, but I mean, just like English, I'm like, fuck
I
that. I'm
can't
not reading
speak
that.
it. I can read it though. I was really good at the reading part of Spanish, just not the speaking part of it. My
Is it
fault.
because you can't make like the tones?
Yeah, I can roll my R's and that kind of stuff. That's not the
Oh,
problem.
can you?
Yeah.
Right now, do it.
Guadalajara.
All right, pretty good, pretty good.
And what's another one that you really have to roll your R's for?
Barrio.
Barrio.
All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
I could do the
Yeah.
thing. That's no problem.
Oh, all right, please, sir. This is a PG-13 podcast. No need for the purring.
Fuck. Now it's rated R.
Oh no. What's the next one up? Like NC-17 or something?
NC-17. Yeah, that's reserved for like porn mostly. Bookmarks. Bookmark.
Is Triple X really like a porn like rating?
Um,
Or like what is
I think
that?
that's just something they made up.
Right. And
I
then
know
Vin
Triple
Diesel
X.
became a
Triple
thing.
X originally started as marking for how many times something was distilled. Like when you were making like moonshine, like one
Yeah.
X would mean
Yeah,
it's
that's why
distilled once.
they
Two
like
X's would
yeah.
mean it's distilled twice, and 3 X's used to mean it was distilled 3 times. And I
Yeah,
think it got that connotation with it being like an illegal or
maybe.
uh like underground type of CD thing.
Yeah. But actually now that you say that, a lot of my childhood makes a lot of sense. You'd always watch like cartoons and they'd have the jugs that have
Hmm.
X's on them.
Yeah,
Never figured that out.
that's what that's for.
I just figured they couldn't say like whiskey or something.
Well, they really couldn't, but
Yeah.
back then you could.
Yeah, but you couldn't do it on TV for
Well,
children.
yeah, you could. Well, you know why you never see
Oh
the
well.
owner of Tom and Jerry's owner, right? It's because they've cut her out. The film has been adapted. The show has been adapted and they've cut her out so you don't see the blackface. You used
Oh,
to see
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
And a lot of times Warner Brothers now when they play their old cartoons, they say, "Hey, this was made at a
This
different
is
time. We don't stand with it,
yes.
but we think it's important that you still see it."
Yes. Oh man, Shelby and I were watching something. I think it was maybe it was Blazing Saddles
Oh, with
that we saw Mel Brooks Blazing Saddles.
Gene Wilder and yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what yeah, they were like, yeah, it's from a different time, but we yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like
Any
I
other
think
first date foods that you?
I don't know. Like you don't want a soup, but that kind of falls along with like the thing. You have to make sure you know his or hers like allergies.
It's up to them. If I think if we go to a restaurant, that's on them.
Yeah, but like they,
It's a first date. How am I supposed to know what the fuck you're allergic to?
I don't know. I feel like that's like an important thing to know. Like I don't give a fuck if some other kid in my kids class has a peanut allergy,
Yeah,
but like I'd care
that's
if
like a
my wife
question.
did.
That's a whole different thing, and she's not your wife. This is a first date.
That's true. She's not your wife, but she's your girlfriend, and a first
They're
date.
not your girlfriends after the first date.
Okay, well, you know what? Mexicans move fast, right?
Yeah. I
So
know.
she's your girlfriend, and then you go on a
We're
first
talking
date.
about like the rest of the civilized world.
Okay, so the rest of the
That's a joke,
civilized
by
world.
the way.
Just putting that out there real quick. This podcast was made at a different time.
Podcast was made yesterday.
But like, okay, so whatever. Okay, so you don't know her thing, but I feel like she would tell you
Well,
because
yeah, but that's up to them to tell you.
right.
If I'm
But what
sitting
if they're
down in a
awkward?
restaurant, right? Okay, but when you're ordering your food, you're gonna tell the waiter because that's normal to do in a kitchen. I used to
Oh,
get
that's
orders all
true.
the time, like, "Hey, I can't use sesame oil for this thing because it contains nuts."
How often did that happen? You say a lot.
It's at least maybe like once a week, twice a week.
Oh, okay, that's not too much.
Well, yeah. And then like when I worked at Auntie Anne's, I had to make sure I had to like we used to have like a um I had a list and like I had like a notebook to keep like temperatures, logs, and all that kind of thing. And on the
Yeah.
back of it, there was like a ingredient sheet of everything that our ingredients, the pretzels, everything that contained everything contained. And like
Yeah.
if it was like touched or made in a factory with X ingredient, if someone could eat it.
Okay.
So it's a pretty common thing.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't think allergies are very common down in. I don't know. Maybe I just never like it never came up. But I don't know like anybody in my family that's allergic to anything other than like my little brother. He's like allergic to mosquito bites type shit. But even then, it's not like he's gonna die. He
I'm
just kind of
allergic
gets them
to
a little
bees,
bigger.
wasps, and hornets.
Okay, I've heard of people saying, but like, you ever heard of like
When
the
I got
bee
stung,
allergy thing? It kind of
yeah.
reminds me of like, oh, my spleen. Like you always hear about it in movies, but you don't actually know somebody.
Well, you do now, because when I get
Oh,
stung, I go into anaphylactic shock.
Jesus, dude, we're learning so much about each other. Do you have any allergies? So when I take you on a first date dinner, besides
No,
the bees,
no. I can eat honey though.
you can eat honey, but you just can't.
Yeah,
Just the bee
some people
venom.
can't eat honey though if they're allergic to them. I've heard that,
Oh, that's fucked.
but
Your
I can eat
sad
honey.
life. When the world goes down, honey is like the only natural antibiotic, other than trying to distill penicillin again, or whatever
Yeah,
the hell you do to get
I
penicillin,
thought you were
scrape
about
it
to
off the
say it's like
mushroom.
the only natural sugar, and I was like, that's not true.
Oh, you almost got me. I've eaten potatoes. Well, it's a starch, but it's like a big sugar.
Sugar beets.
Sugar beets?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck are sugar beets?
They were beets they used to refine. That was like one of our really early sweetener.
Is it like a thing that somebody made, or is it natural?
No, I believe they were made. Well, every plant has been genetically modified. You do
Yeah,
know
but
this though,
like,
right? People were
well, yeah,
genetically
and it's
modifying
some
plants before
that's like the
like
first science ever done
scientists were
on
doing it,
Earth.
right?
Yeah,
Corn is genetically modified. The Native Americans picked out which corns they want. That's
right,
genetic
and then
modification.
right. But what I'm saying is like, is this one of the core fruits or vegetables?
Um,
Like, what does it come off of? Like, what is it from?
a beet.
And was the beet the first one?
Um, I don't know if it was the first one. It was before sugarcane, I can tell you that. They can grow in like cold climates. So like they were really grown mostly in like Europe.
Because I know like there's a plant that people just took different parts of it. So like some people had the roots, some people had like it produced the fruit. So they would have ones that produced the fruit really well, one that
It's
produced the leaves really well.
you get the sweetness from its root, but
Yeah.
um In 2009, sugar beets accounted for 20% of the world's sugar production and nearly 30% by 2013.
Jesus.
That's actually a lot.
Yeah. Did you know that they're still coming out with like brand new apples?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like what? Like I know there's like the Cosmic Crisp apple, but when is the last? What's the latest release apple? I don't
I
know
don't
if I'm
know.
gonna release fruit,
Um,
but why are people doing this? What's going on that we need this?
it was figured out that the beet could be used for like a sweetener in 1575, and then by 1747, they were able to create it as like a sugar, like a
Oh,
powdery
okay.
thing.
Hmm. Also, the newest fruit to hit the market is gonna be called a ground cherry. It's gonna taste
Sounds
like pineapple, but also like vanilla. It comes across as tropical, but also has undertones of tomato. I don't know, man. Apparently, like you know how it's the thing in like Jurassic Park, like nobody's thought, like nobody questioned if we could, but or what the fuck is it?
Oh no, no one.
Maybe
Everyone was so focused on if they could, they never stopped to think if they should. That along those lines.
yes,
The
that
Jeff
one.
Goldblum's line. Yeah.
Yes.
65 days, polished heirloom is ready. You very sweet, nice hint of tartness.
Are you looking up the
$3.50. Oh,
sugar
that's for
beet?
the like. No, I was looking at your ground cherries.
Yeah, they ain't dropped yet, man.
I could buy them right now.
Oh, have they? Oh, okay. Is it a pre-order or what? Do you get the deluxe edition day
Just
one?
let me see. Add to cart. Go to checkout.
Yeah, where the fuck would you even find a sugar beet? Amazon. Yes,
The
that's
United
right.
States grows over a million acres of them.
Jesus, I have never heard of these things. Is it like Big Apple and Big Citrus,
I don't know.
like keeping you down? Did we talk about citrus zones last podcast?
I don't think so. USA customers are
Okay,
currently receiving most orders in 10 to 14 days, but a plea allows 3 weeks. What the fuck am I buying?
I have no idea.
Am I buying the cherries themselves? What the f am I doing?
I have no
I got
idea.
free
I'm still
shipping for
looking.
$4 worth of stuff.
Oh, nice. What did you buying it through Amazon or what?
No, through this weird. It's called rareseeds.com.
Rareseeds.com. Are you buying from the actual thing in Norway? I think it's in Norway.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Just
just typed
Googled
in
rare seeds.
I just googled ground cherries and it was the first thing that came
Yo,
up.
Baker Creek heirloom seeds. Is that where you're at?
No, I just told you where I was at. Oh,
Nah,
now
I
I am.
completely forgot. Ah, see? Wait, I'm surprised you haven't heard of citrus zones being in Florida.
Oh,
Oranges and
areas of
shit.
citrus zone.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's just play areas where you can grow citrus.
Okay, well, kind of. So a citrus zone is basically like
You can have
you can't
cabbage.
bring what? What about cabbage?
Just keep continue. I'm gonna send you the picture.
Okay, on Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, a citrus zone is like Jesus fucking Christ. Look at that monster, and look at that cabbage. Is
Yeah.
that a cabbage? Is that their collard
Yeah,
green? I don't know what the
it's a
difference is.
cabbage.
Yeah, but look at that. Jesus Christ, the
It's
thing's
called a Sapporo Giant, number 4. Oh,
Sapporo
Sapporo.
Giant number 4. Sapporo?
Yeah,
Sudoku.
it's like a Japanese cabbage, I guess.
I don't know enough about the Japanese to know about their cabbages, man.
Yeah, continue about your
Which is
thing.
also, I'm
I'll read
very
you the
curious.
description for this giant cabbage after you're done.
Okay. So basically, a citrus zone, you're not allowed to bring in other types of plants
Yeah,
or citrus.
yeah, that's normal.
See, I don't leave. When I left Texas, I always flew back in because, fucking
That's part of the
baller like that.
reason why the airport uses those like blasts of air and those radiation things is to check for like seeds if you have seeds hidden in like your boots or your hats or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's for explosive drugs, but they can detect seeds.
Yeah,
Because if
but
you
like
get
I
like a
never.
seed or some like
Yeah,
diseased like plant, it could ruin the ecosystem.
the ecosystem, the economy, like.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought about it. I just thought, okay, just don't bring shit to whatever. Don't bring citrus. I never thought about like the actual ramifications until Shelby. She saw the sign and she's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, citrus on." She's like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh, don't bring your fucking dirty, fucking American oranges to our Mexican oranges." And she's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "I mean, not like that, but basically, yeah. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't interbreed because you're gonna be gross and disease and all that." She's like, "Oh, that's fucked up." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I wish I would have explained it better."
Tasting of the fruit is a sin.
Yeah, that's basically it. I went Baptist preacher on her real quick. So the oranges, by the way, legitimate oranges. That isn't code for anything. Oranges, naranjas, grapefruit. Just want to put that out there. It's fine. Only like three
Um,
people get this far anyway.
so the
Thank you to those
description
three
of
people.
yeah, thank you. The description of this Sapporo giant number
Oh
4.
my god, yeah. What the fuck?
What a showstopper!
Is that how it starts, or is that you like
Yeah,
adding
that's how it
flavored text?
starts.
Oh my god.
This big friendly giant will be your kid's next best friend, and yours too. This giant cabbage was once a proper crop in Hokkaido, Japan, noted as a unique variety since the 1800s. It was almost lost to history. The Japanese in the Showa period had quite the taste and fondness for this big brisca. Hokkaido growers report averages of 17 to 37 pounds each, or even up to 44 pounds in optimal growing conditions. Not popular for size only, the Sapporo Giant has won gold medals in Japanese taste test. It has a natural sweetness and stays tender as it grows to its immense size. Thanks to a special team of dedicated growers, we are again able to bring this variety to bore and protect it from becoming a relic of times past. To impress, try making Sapporo Giant cabbage roll. It will fill a platter. It needs full sun. It sprouts in 7 to 10 days. Ideal temperatures of 50
Jesus.
to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it can survive frost. It prefers cool weather, ample moisture. It's $4 for I think like a seed.
Well, yeah, but once you okay, so how do you get cabbage seeds out of a cabbage?
Um,
I've always thought about that,
let's see, cabbage seeds.
but that is wild.
Yeah, I guess they just have seedlings.
They just
I
start making
believe.
them.
Yeah. Oh, there's pods that grow from them.
Okay. So you just dry them the fuck out, apparently, and
Yeah,
then
you dry them
you
out and
break
then
them
you
open
flake.
later. Okay. I always wondered where vegetables got their seeds. As a
You have
man
an
who does not eat
interesting
many of
website.
them, yeah, kingcabbage.com.
It's the rare seeds place.
Oh yeah, that's fucking wild. I was looking at it for a second. Apparently, they sell all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at like okra, onions, mm, hot peppers, Aegean mango.
Salvia.
No, not salvia.
That's what I'm looking at. Salvia, amore
Oh,
salmon,
I'm thinking of the
salmon.
sativa.
No, no, salvia was also a thing, wasn't it?
No, it's indica and sativa. I could
Peach
be wrong.
Carolina Reaper hot pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can sign up for their newsletter. Oh
Where's
shit,
it?
they're in Missouri. When Shelby and I are driving up, maybe we'll stop by and be like, "Yo, you got any of them,
Cabbages.
them cabbages, bro?"
Hokkaido number 4.
Specifically number 4. Excellent year. Maybe they got bitter melon. Why would you ever eat bitter melon?
Some people like it. I don't know.
Mildly bitter, nutty tasting juice, fruit in juice, grilled
It's an interesting
spruce. Those things
website.
are gross. Yeah.
Um, You have anything else you want to talk about? Because you gotta
No.
go soon, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta fucking take a shower real quick, and I gotta be done by. I gotta be ready to go in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Well,
It's
it was
fine.
fun,
I
everyone.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for
Didn't talk
taking this
about
journey
much.
to us. Yeah, no, the game's been over for like the last 2 hours, but we get paid regardless if we were free play or not. So we're just gonna keep sitting here on the
I'm
bench looking
showing
at
up so I
plants.
don't get fined.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gotta be our like outro.
Oh.
We still need to settle down on like an intro outro.
Yeah, I've never gotten around to thinking of one. I'm not a music person. I could do
Neither
editing,
am I.
basic Photoshop things, but
Yeah.
music production
Oh
is kind of past
yeah.
my wheelhouse.
Yeah, well, there's got to be like a
You could like
free.
commission like somebody on Fiverr to do like a jingle or something if you really wanted to, but I
Oh
wouldn't.
yeah,
You could do that, or you could come up with it on your own,
free music, no copyright.
but yeah, royalty free. Good luck.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter because anybody is just gonna be like, oh yeah, no, that's mine.
Yeah.
So,
Alrighty. Bye, everyone.
all right. Goodbye, everybody.